Chaos or democracy at the Charles R. Drew University of Medicine and Science on Saturday, January 25th. Some of LA's top elected officials, Representative Sidney Comlager Dove, Mayor Karen Bass, Supervisor Holly Mitchell, and City Council President Marquise Harris Dawson will be on hand for what promises to be a lively and informative conversation. Doors open at 8 a.m. The general session, moderated by Tavis Smiley and broadcast live on KBLA Talk 1580, begins at 9 a.m. The event is free, but seating is limited and registration is required. Go to the Empowerment Congress website at www.empowermentcongress.org to register. Where do we go from here? Chaos or democracy? Come join the Empowerment Congress and KBLA Talk 1580, Saturday, January 25th at the Charles R. Drew University of Medicine and Science. Doors open at 8 a.m. The free program starts at 9 a.m. Registration is required at www.empowermentcongress.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
Ebony and ivory live together in perfect harmony, side by side on my piano keyboard. Oh Lord, why don't we? We all know that people are the same wherever you go. There is good and bad in everyone.
Listen,
And we learn to live.
I probably haven't heard this song since 1980 whatever when it came out. Shout out to you, Andy. Welcome in. Happy Friday. You are locked in to KBLA Talk 1580 with Jill Munroe, here to give you your entertainment news and culture update on this cold LA Friday. My God. I mean, I suppose maybe that's good. Maybe the air quality will improve. Something like that. Yeah, shout out to that Ebony and Ivory song. You know, Andy is always on theme. And that, of course, relates to the topic that we're going to get into tonight. But, of course, I have to welcome you in first. So I hope you are settled in. You have a beverage, a snack. You are relaxed. If at any point you want to get in on the conversation, write down the phone number now. 800, or do we even write at this point? We probably just put it in our phone, right? 800-920-1580. Hit us up on all social media. KBLA 1580. Stiletto Jill. Okay, now that all that is out of the way, let me give you a little preview of what we're going to get into tonight. So we are diving headfirst into a debate that is constantly fluctuating in the air, in the atmosphere. This latest version of it was sparked by a conversation, well, an interview, I should say, that comedian Donnell Rawlings was having on Club Shay Shay with Shannon Sharpe. You know, Shannon is ground zero for some controversial topics and conversation. And so this one was about, you know, dating I was going to say internationally, interracially. Right? And basically, Donnell Rawlings disagrees strongly with Dr. Umar Johnson's comments about interracial dating. And he got into it, into the details, I should say, not into a disagreement with Shannon, not on this topic, y'all. But we're going to get into that. However, it brought up something that I kind of want to talk about with this, because I want to know, like, why is this from men that choose to date interracially a topic? Like, why, if you want to do it, do you not just do it? And as long as you are not saying negativity towards Black women, why is it important? I'll get into why I think, but we're going to talk about that. But before we get into that, there's just a couple of updates. TikTok is set to go away on Sunday. Are you sad? Are you upset? Does it matter to you? President Joe Biden has basically said, hey, Trump's administration, you want to deal with it? Go ahead. Of course, lots of content creators are sad and upset. They feel that this is a viable source of income being moved away from them for no real reason. And so we will have to see what ultimately ends up happening with it. But as of now, as of Sunday, no more. So we shall see. Andy?
I feel like if you have that much of a following, I mean, I feel like they can follow you to any other platform. Now, I don't know how the money-making process is with TikTok, but I'm just assuming that if they want to shut down TikTok, that's fine. I'm going to just take my services to Facebook or to Instagram.
Or to YouTube. Right. That's how I kind of feel too, but I understand if you're making cash, you're making cash. So listen, coming up on the other side, we're going to hear Donnell's comments, and then we're going to get into the conversation. Because why, y'all? Why? Why, if you're so secure in your relationships, do you keep trying to defend it when no one asked you? All of that more on the other side. You're locked into KBLA Talk 1580.
You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Can your pad absorb everything and stay fresh? Always Radiant with Flex Foam can. Get up to 0 leaks, 0 odor, and 0 feel. Because Flex Foam is the only pad with a flexible foam core. You heard me, foam. Always Radiant is so thin, it feels like nothing, yet protects like nothing else. Can your pad do that? For up to 100% leak-free protection, try Always Radiant to see what Flex Foam can do for you. Febreze.
Fabric Talk. Hello, my love. I am your living room carpet. I see everything. I feel everything. After a while, I smell like everything, including Sir Pickles, who you snuggle with while binging that dating show you can't stop watching. So, how about we freshen things up with Febreze Fabric Spray? Oh, and a big spray for my pals, couch and ottoman. Ah, yes, refreshing. Breathe happy, Febreze. La 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 la.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. Every girl deserves a chance to shine. That's the belief behind Forgiving for Living, Inc. Since 1999, this organization has been empowering at-risk girls ages 13 to 18, helping them overcome behavioral and mental health challenges. Founder Wendy Gladney's personal journey inspired the mission to give girls hope and purpose through the power of forgiveness. Through their ambassador program, workshops, and annual conference, Forgiving for Living has touched over 3,000 young lives, providing mentoring, life skills, training, and tools for building self-esteem and confidence. You can make a difference. Visit forgivingforliving.org to donate, volunteer, become a mentor, or find help for a young girl in need. Forgiving for Living, Inc., building brighter futures for young girls. Visit forgivingforliving.org today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
Now back to more entertainment news with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back into your entertainment news update with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. So let's get into it. Comedian Donnell Rawlings was on Club Shay Shay, as I mentioned, ground zero lately for all the messy bits we love to hear about and discuss. And Shannon brought up the topic of Dr. Umar and interracial dating. Dr. Umar calls them bunny hoppers, right? And so his whole thing with this aspect, and love him, hate him, or utilize him when need be, Dr. Umar is all about preserving the black family. So Donnell and Shannon got into this conversation, and I'll let you hear the conversation first, and then we'll get into some of that. And of course, the YouTube chat is already bubbling over, so feel free to join there and add your commentary. We'll get into that shortly as well.
Why do you believe that interracial dating is such a hot topic in our community?
Why is it a hot topic? Again, have something to be mad about. Now, I can understand your feelings on interracial. This may sound crazy, and we'll this up. I can understand that if we were still like marching, like in 1940. We got so many examples of what a biracial relationship has created. You know what I'm saying? We got so much of like, it don't necessarily mean everybody ain't trying to fight the power all the time.
Right.
I like out my speech, I said, fight the power downstairs. I'm this freedom fighter right now.
Right.
You know what bunny hopping is, right?
Yeah, I know what that is.
Well, it's the opposite of bunny hopping. It's when a white guy dates a black chick. He swims in the milk, which would be such a disapproval to Dr. Umar. But I put it like this.
There you go.
I'm just saying, son. Some people don't appreciate love in all flavors. They used to call me Donnell Rawlings because I dipped in different flavors. And I support happiness. I support happiness. That's what
That's it.
That's what people
You like who like you.
I like who like me.
There you go.
There it is.
Bro, thanks for stopping by.
But damn, boy, them bunnies sometimes. I'm just saying, Lord have mercy.
I just want you guys.
They silent. They don't talk a lot. Oh man,
Shannon Sharpe does not approve of this.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
So listen, there's a lot there, right? And though Shannon was saying he doesn't approve of that message, secretly, he might. So I feel like at this point in time, we all, for the most part, feel like love who you want to love. Be with who makes you happy. Good things, good energy, good vibes. And generally, if you talk to black women, because I think that even though he mentions Dr. Umar, the conversation is geared mainly towards black women and others. But I think that the defense of it constantly at this point is kind of weird. If you're not trashing black women, then go on about your business and enjoy your relationship. But see, what they always do, much like Donnell did, and I know he's a comedian and he has all the jokes, but this conversation always swings to they don't say anything, that they're so demure, that they aren't reactive, that they are understanding, that they're not money hungry. And we don't have to get into that aspect right now, but what I want to know is why can't you just enjoy them and go? Why do we always have to constantly circulate this? And we are the world. We get it. You are the world. You just want to love who loves you. And about that, the love who loves you, the underlying theme always with that is, black women rejected me when I was young. They wouldn't talk to me. They wouldn't deal with me until I got money.
Jill, come on now. Look, you being disrespectful to the men now. Come on.
I'm just saying, is it not though? In a lot of conversations, when it goes back to, I can name some celebrity examples, if you like. Donald Glover has mentioned this.
See, now you're airing him out now. Come on, Jill.
He's mentioned this in interviews. I'm not airing him out. I'm simply saying that a common theme when it is brought up, right, is that, women in my own race, I wasn't cool enough for them, or I wasn't the bad guy, or things of that nature. And here's the deal, right? That may have been true, but that is not every black woman in the whole sphere of things, right?
Understood.
The second thing to that is, maybe you weren't cool at that time. You are not entitled to the woman that you want or the man that you want just because you want them. Sometimes people are not nice people. Sometimes they are not good people, and you are attracted to someone that is not attracted back. But that does not mean that you have to blame a whole segment of women or men for those one-on-one interactions.
I hear you 100%. I think sometimes we get caught up on those generalized statements, right? And the reality is that person probably had 2 to 3 experiences and now all right are
But
like
here's
that.
the
But that's
thing.
not the case. We know
Right.
that.
But even with that, I mean, it's like this. People date every day and get their heart broken by the person they thought they wanted or the person that they did want, right? Are you giving up on love altogether? No. You think that this one archetype, not ever looking internally, like maybe the particular people that I'm choosing, right? We also have to know where we're at with things. And again, I say this not just for men, I say this for women too. There's a lot of women out there that are like, I want the high value man. You have
Thank
to
you, Jill.
earn me. You have to spend all the dollars on me. Baby, we're talking $580,000 dinners and all of those things. And you're not
Cheesecake
bringing...
Factory ain't enough.
Right. And you're not bringing much to the situation to really warrant that. We can work towards that, perhaps. So I'm saying everybody, I think, is a little delusional with what their options are today. I blame social media for a lot of that. But I think that, and the chat is going crazy. I'm going to get to y'all because I know it's good in there. I just think that relax and enjoy if that is what you enjoy. And I know it may be hard, but if you are really unbothered, yes, then be unbothered. Don't use a situation with and you know what happened? Tell them why it's okay that we date outside. It's okay because you say it's okay. Why are you looking like that, Andy?
No, Jill, you are making, points that I agree with. I just think that it's hurt. You know what I mean? It's hurt. And I think there's that desire to want to date your own kind, right? But for whatever reason, like you said, you probably wasn't cool at the time, or for whatever reason, you just didn't connect with that individual, or you did pick the wrong one. I'm with you.
Like sometimes the stereotypes, are true. The nerd guy may not get the homecoming queen. That's just it. Do you know what I'm saying? Unfair, possibly. But there might be a better version of that down the line in your future. If you feel like there are some things about yourself that you want to put together to maybe attract that person, cool, do that. But don't put a target on everybody else's back that is involved in that because you had a couple of slip-ups. Are you giving up on love altogether? No. So I don't know.
Well, how about, I believe we discussed it, was it like last week or 2 weeks ago, about, Tory Craig?
Yes.
And the white girls, like, they're perpetuating that as well, too. But just kind of like on the flip side, right? How are these white women talking about what Tory Craig's type is?
And I mean, I told you my opinion on situations like that is that they are emboldened by conversations that they have with these mates that they are dealing with. I'll tell you a story. Back in the day, I used to work for a record label, and I was going to the studio where some of our artists were to do something. I can't remember what it was. And when I got there, I was, sometimes the way studios are set up, there's like a lobby area or an outside area outside where the main studio is and whatever. So these particular artists and some friends and some young ladies who were not black were in conversation. And these artists were telling the young ladies all of the things that they don't like about black women, right? And I overheard this, and that's a whole I didn't, because again, they're not my men. I'm here on business, so I didn't jump in the mix. But I just thought, I'm like, why are you even doing that? If you want to shoot your shot at them, shoot your shot, baby. Nobody's gonna care. You don't have to down why this is why I'm not with them. Like, just, I'm talking to you, I'm vibing with you, and let it be that. That is the aspect that, I think a lot of black women have had historically the problem with, the comparison aspect for no reason. And as you lovely pointed out, it spills over because as a woman, if you're constantly hearing that, look, take race out of it. If you're constantly hearing the ex, she's trash, she's trash, she's trash, she got a bad attitude, she's trash, she's trash, she's trash. You are a much better woman. You did do all of this better. You are more understanding. You're going to start to internalize that. And so I blame those men.
So what I'm hearing is, like you said, let's just take race out of this situation. And since I'm a man, I'll speak, for the fellas, right? When you're trying to court, date whoever, whether they're black, white, green, whatever, don't air your grievances about your past.
Right.
Right? Don't downplay, you know what I'm saying, what you was involved with in the past,
Or even,
to try
here's
to
the
make
thing.
this current person look good or whatever.
Right. And I'm sorry for interrupting. Here's the thing, because it's also unrealistic to think that you at some point aren't going to discuss your past relationships or whatever you went through. But discuss it as an individual, not as a race of women.
I'm with you.
Black women don't do this. This woman did this.
But how realistic is that? You know what I mean?
I mean,
like we're
not
human,
much.
right? And
Not really,
and
but
even outside of, like, we could be driving and you come across, what's the stereotypes about? I'm not going
certain drivers. I got you.
Certain drivers
We're here.
can't drive,
feel
right?
you.
We come across 2 of them and we like, all of them can't drive. We tend to do that though.
I mean, here's the thing, like, and I understand, but I feel like at this current point in the culture, we have a problem. Well, not me, but people have a problem with nuance. They have a problem with context, and they don't know when to apply it.
Well, social media is to blame on that. Everything is a clip or whatnot. So,
I mean, yeah, it's an interesting thing. Let me get to some of these comments because they are lighting it up. And good evening to everyone in the chat. Stephanie Marie, Fahima, Forensic Accountant, DJ Black 909, and more. I'm going to go down the list and get to you. Fahima says, when Umar Johnson opens a school for those who were children at the time he started the fundraising over a decade ago, who now have children of their own, we might pay attention.
We got to stop all that. Stop bringing that up. I feel like let's contribute to that if that's the case. You feel me?
Okay.
Let's chip in on the school.
Happy holiday weekend. Pretty Brown me. Forrest Harrison says weak ninjas to, Shannon and Donnell. Forensic Accountant says, do you, everyone? We agree with that. Pretty Brown Mimi says, happy Friday, everyone. Black men, y'all can date, marry who you want, but don't disrespect us black women to do so. Just say you prefer non-black women. It's your loss. There it is right there. Arab Black TV says there's a divide from black men who live in certain areas and have access to certain people from men like Dr. Umar who are strictly into black women. Who do black women listen to? I think that, there is something to be said about the financial differences at times, although we see interracial dating across financial spectrums, right? But I do think, and if we're talking about entertainment or sports, I think there is something to be said about black athletes going to schools that are predominantly white in areas where, they are effectively a celebrity via sports and are treated as such. So it's new to them. It is the very definition of exotic, something new and not foreign in the traditional sense, but something outside of what they're used to seeing day to day. And you want to play with it. It feels different. Their experiences, the way that they navigate through life might be of a different viewpoint. And so you're curious. Andy?
Could it possibly be that when we talk about compatibility, right? Mm-hmm. I'm speaking in general. I'm not speaking for all, because you hear this a lot from the black men, right? That black men may tend to be a little bit more compatible with the white woman.
But why do we think that?
Because you always hear from men.
Right. But the reason why they say that, and I feel like, right, the reason why, and I've had a lot of conversations with friends who are athletes, friends who are in entertainments, where they feel, it's a safe space. So we can have the conversation. I might judge you a little bit, but I'm not going to judge you on a level of we aren't friends. I'm going to hear you out and hear your reasoning behind why you feel this way, right? And a lot of times it goes back to what they feel are support, or, when they're going through a tough time, how the women approach things. And I think white women, or sometimes others, are socialized differently to deal with those internal conflicts. So sometimes that may be part of the difference. But I also think that it also depends on where you are in the relationship. Because if that black woman has been with you through the struggles and has seen the worst of you and had to sometimes take on the brunt of that, your interactions might be slightly different than someone that you're just meeting from a different plane and perspective. So you might not be coming to the situation with the same type of animosity, hangups, or triggers that you've had previously. So the reaction emotions might be a tad bit different.
Well said. Well said. I think also us as men, we need to be talking about, our sisters, you know what I'm saying? We need to be more cognizant, obviously, of your emotions and your emotional state. And I think we can work on being more appreciative of, your space a lot of the times, because, when we talk about strength in the relationships or in dating, y'all carry a different type of strength. That's not necessarily physical.
And a different type of burden at times, sometimes coming from different experiences and, things of that nature. And so do they get the opportunity to be soft and understanding for you, or are they carrying a load that is stressing them out and then you two are at odds because of it? When we come forward, we're going to get more on this topic. We're going to get more into the YouTube chats, 800-920-1580 if you want to call in. News, traffic, and sports on the other side.
You're in the know with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. Firefighters are making progress on wildfires in Los Angeles with 40,000 acres still burning. The fires have killed 27 people and destroyed thousands of structures. The PGA Tour is moving the Genesis Invitational out of Pacific Palisades due to the wildfire ravaging the Southern California community. The tournament, hosted annually by Tiger Woods, had been scheduled to be played at the Riviera Country Club in Pacific Palisades during the week of February 10th. The Justice Department is suing Houston County, Georgia for alleged voting discrimination, claiming its at-large election system dilutes black voters' power. With a black population over 30%, only one black person has served on the county commission. And the Maryland Office of the Public Defender protested against charging minors as adults, citing its disproportionate impact on black and brown children. They advocate for cases to start in juvenile court to avoid unnecessary drama. I'm Amber Payton on the Black Information Network, your home for Black News First.
South LA 110 northbound delays leaving the 105, taking you ahead all the way to the 5 in Elysian Park. Southbound slowing also loads up from the 5, taking you back towards Manchester Avenue. West LA, southbound side of the 405, slowing from Santa Monica Boulevard in stretches all the way to the 605. And northbound delays out of Culver City from the 90 as you continue to the 5 merge in Sylmar. The drive on the 101, southbound delays all the way out of Agora Hills from Chesborough. You're on the brakes ahead in stretches all the way into downtown Los Angeles. Pasadena, 210 eastbound loading up at Lincoln, delays all the way to Foothill Boulevard. More slowing ahead in Upland from Baseline as you continue towards the 15. But that 15 northbound loads up out of Ontario from the 60, taking you to the 138.
Compassion sponsorship means food, healthcare, education, and more for a child in poverty. And there are thousands of kids who've been waiting over a year. End their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Text the word radio to 83393.
Is this the title? This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Congratulations to University of South Carolina women's basketball coach Dawn Staley. She is now the highest paid coach in the history of women's college basketball. South Carolina gave Staley a contract extension today worth $25.2 million. The extension keeps her at South Carolina through the year 2030. The deal increases her salary to $4 million a year, includes a signing bonus of $500,000, and contains annual increases of $250,000. Staley has won 3 national titles at South Carolina, including a 38-0 run last season. South Carolina is number 2 in the nation behind UCLA. Number 1 UCLA is the only team to beat South Carolina this season. The Bruins beat them November 24th at Pauley Pavilion. Dodger star Shohei Ohtani donated $500,000 to the firefighters and first responders dealing with the wildfires in LA County. The sports world has stepped up big in response to the wildfires disaster. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader. KBLA Talk 1580. Follow the leader.
If you're not following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out. Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcast of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Got your black.
Follow the leader when the leader.
Oh my God.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Dark Child. Hey, baby.
Had to let this rock a little bit because, you know, that's the voice right there. Welcome back into KBLA Talk 1580. You are locked in with Jill Munroe, giving you your entertainment update for this Friday evening. So listen, we were talking about Donnell Rawlings, his recent appearance on Club Shay Shay. They got into a conversation about interracial dating, and, you know, they want everyone to just be happy, and they like who likes them. And my question to you is, do you need to continue to say it? So like I said, the chat is on fire, and we're going to get into some of these comments because, ooh, they are spicy, and we also have a call. So Pretty Brown Mimi said, we don't care who Donnell Rawlings is dating. We don't care. And Forensic Accountant says that we're not going to play like some black women aren't viciously anti-black male. Clovey C says, it's never positive when said it's like except when it's known They just want to laugh for agreement. I think he's talking about the moment at the end when Donnell was talking about that white women, the snow bunnies, he said it, not me, that they are more understanding and, gentler to the fragile black male ego, as Donnell was implying it. So there you go with that. Era Black TV says most people have given up on love, especially if they are older. Forrest Harrison says black girls are taught not to be easy, and other races give it up with no problem. And a weak-minded ball player will make an excuse like, they don't like me. I feel like I understand that at a time that might have been true, that black women were looked at and possibly were more sexually conservative than their counterparts. But I think here today in 2025, especially if you're talking about the younger generation, if we're talking about that type of lifestyle, not in general, because we know the youth in general are not having as much sex as their counterparts from prior generations. But I think if you were specifically talking about that lifestyle, I don't think that black, white, Latina, whatever you want, I don't think that it is the black that anymore about those girls are doing what black girls won't do. I don't think that is the case at this point in time. Let's see what else. Mimi says, if Donnell wasn't a rich celebrity, would he be pulling white women? I'm just asking. I mean, these are the facts. Like I said, we see interracial dating across all financial spectrums. So I understand that there are certain types, perhaps, that he may not have had access to. But I'm not just going to say, generally speaking, he wouldn't have been able to pull a white woman because, it happens. Let's see what else. Arab Black TV also says, I think we as average and regular people prop up celebrities and people who are supposedly above us. I'm about us down here at the bottom and understand the money and fantasy world is always going to be just that. So, I mean, that is a good thing. Lucas Frank says that is a good thing to discuss. Putting a pin in it for myself. Lucas Frank says the culture is too comfortable objectifying black men. Everyone feels it's their duty to interrogate black men's preferences, even though they really don't want to hear the answers. So I'm going to add something on that, and then we're going to get to Mimi's calls. Is it that everyone wants to, objectify black men, or is it that for a number of years, a lot of black men played on the financial support, the support as far as their projects of black women, but were going home to white women and having these conversations that we discuss? Because I feel like when these topics would come up back in the day, that usually was the genesis or the starting point of that they felt that, oh, we're supporting these men and we're telling them we love them and we're making them wealthy, and they wouldn't even look at us. And my thing is, you should not be enjoying someone's talent, art, or whatever strictly based off of if you think that they would date you. But I do understand with supporting with your dollars those who you feel line up with your views. But are you taking that approach with everything? Maybe, maybe not. Let's get to Mimi. Hey, Mimi, thanks for locking in. What's going on with you tonight?
Hey, Jill. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
I just want to say, black men, they can date, marry, whoever they want to. I just don't want them to disrespect us black women. And I think some of the black male celebrities out there think that we really care about their personal lives, who they're dating and marrying. If you're Jamie Foxx and you date white women, but you choose to kind of keep them in the shadows, you don't have to do that, because we like your comedy, we like your acting, we don't care what you're doing. Alfonso Ribeiro, same thing. Donnell Rawlings, we really don't care in that aspect, because for me it's about the entertainer, not about who you're dating. But if you prefer non-black women, do that, but just don't disrespect black women. That's all.
I agree wholeheartedly. And to say, here is the thing. One thing I can say about Jamie, I have never heard of him being disrespectful about black women. He has his preference, but I feel that is one of the reasons why, it's brought up, but one of the reasons why Jamie is so beloved and people rock with him with it is because he kind of keeps his whole personal life to himself overall, as far as the dating thing, always has for the most part. And we've never heard him say shady things about black women, whereas some of these others, they slipped and they said stuff that is crazy. Is it Next Relent in the chat says, a white woman cannot understand my struggles as a black man, never have, never will. And he says black queens forever. So shout out to you for that. Era Black TV says everyone should experience being treated exotic or be the new kid on the block or be the new person in a new country that isn't used to you, etc. And Never Relent also says, why date a woman who belongs to a group who robbed us and continues to take from us? So, I mean, lots of opinions out there, you know, again, for the most part, it's love who you love, just don't talk crap or whatever. But when we come forward, I'm going to ask the question in reverse. Oh, Mimi, thank you for calling in. I appreciate you. I'll see you in the chat. Appreciate you. We're going to talk about Eve. If you saw all the hoopla surrounding her holiday picture with her family, it was her husband is white, her stepchildren are white. They live in England, so it was most of his family and friends, I'm assuming, at this dinner, and people were up in arms. And you know, once again, why? Why? Why are you cool with it when you do it, but not when they do it? Why are the black men at some point sounding like the black women said it too, but why are you sounding like the black women you claim you want to be more silent and let you do you when it's rolling in reverse? We're going to get into all of that and more on the other side.
You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I've just been feeling so sluggish lately. You should try the Metamucil 2-Week Challenge. The Metamucil 2-Week Challenge? Yeah, Metamucil 4-in-1 Fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Start your daily routine now, and in 2 weeks, you could be feeling great. Well, it's been 2 weeks. How you feeling? Lighter and feeling great.
If you want to feel lighter by promoting digestive health, sign up to take the 2-week challenge at metamucil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, Mom, I've been meaning to talk to you about some new COVID information I saw online. I read that 3 out of 4 adults in the United States have a high risk factor for severe COVID-19. And black folks like us with certain conditions like diabetes, heart disease, mental health conditions, or being 50 and older are at high risk.
Boy, you sound like a commercial.
I'm just saying. I know you love your ginger teas and essential oils, but remember, there are treatment options for COVID-19.
I promise if I get sick again, I'll call my doctor to ask about my options.
Joe Montana here. In my football days, I knew the importance of a strong defense. Now I'm sharing how you can help defend your health against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease. Are you 50 or older like me? The CDC now recommends vaccination against pneumococcal disease. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at increased risk and over 6 times greater risk of hospitalization with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50. Schedule your appointment today at vaxassist.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Now back to more entertainment news with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back into KBLA Talk 1580 with Jill Munroe. That YouTube chat, boy, I can't even keep up with how fast that conversation is going. I have seen Kayla Nicole's name thrown out there. She is the ex-girlfriend of Kansas City Chiefs star Travis Kelce, and I've seen Jonathan Majors thrown out there. And, forensic accountant, what you want to say about Kayla Nicole? What did she do wrong? She talked about her experience. She explained that the commentary about what Travis did and did not do to her, that was a source of contention among many, was taken a tad out of context, meaning, he wasn't paying her bills, supporting her life, living, and things of that nature. I think that people get sensitive about some of these things because it's a lot of projection. Baxter Mox says, I'm glad you said black men talking about this sound like women because that's where the conversation came from, which is why it's always about black men dating instead of interracial dating. That's an interesting point. Arab Black TV says Eve, Serena Williams, etc., black women who join white worlds and black women who are the only black around are made fun of by black men in the community. I mean, they are. Like, again, Serena Williams has all the reason in the world, to some degree, to be a little angry at black men. Yet we've never heard her speak out or say things negatively in that fashion. Come on, people have said some horrible women too. I know. But men, listen, in all of this, you can point to some examples of the opposite sex engaging in the activity. Misogyny is real, groupthink is real, and, a lot is happening. Now, why are we so mad that Eve spent a holiday dinner? Do you know if this is what her day-to-day is? We do not. We know that Eve, right, much like you want us to do with the football players and the singers and the actors, we know that Eve has always been down for the culture. Has Eve ever said anything that you felt was out of line as far as the culture? Has she never not been, she was a talk show host. She was on The Talk for many years. Has she been out of step with that?
I think the issue was just the optics of the picture, right? There was like no black family members in the picture. So like, it's cool. It's cool to take a picture with your family, but like, where's your side of the family? I mean, at least a grandma, a nephew,
but they're
uncle
overseas. Maybe, that family is with this family, or maybe it was just that holiday.
Point taken.
Yeah.
But just
it was jarring for you.
Representation is like, damn, where's your family at?
So Clovey C says the Eve photo was dreadful. The optics said least.
You got to read Ida's comment as well too, right before yours.
Whose comment?
Ida.
Okay, Ida Farrow. Whoop, that Eve picture had a lot to say. I wonder if she's embarrassed of her family. She doesn't have a relationship with them, or she just sucks. I think she does have a relationship with them still. I think, again, both sides. With the men, right, I will say in the past, not all, got to put those qualifiers out there for you guys because y'all don't listen sometimes. But the reason why I think those beliefs came to be are some of the statements that these men made publicly. We've seen it going all the way back to James Earl Jones. Had some controversial things to say about black women in relationships back in the day. Do you know? We have all heard the things that I believe it was Harry Belafonte said to, was it Diane Carroll? Who did Diane Carroll have, or was it Sidney Poitier? No, Harry Belafonte to Eartha Kitt, Sidney Poitier to Diane Carroll. that one I think is alleged, or there might be some proof about, from that time period where they were positioning themselves to go further in entertainment and felt that being paired with a black woman was an anchor, so to speak, that they could get further with a white woman on their arm. And that very much was an attitude that was pervasive at that time, ironically during the civil rights movement. We've seen interviews with Quincy Jones, God bless his soul, who spoke about that back in the day, they were trying to stick it to the white man. So they got with as many white women as possible and were kind of emulating them. So this starts from someplace. But I feel like in conversation, in just general statements, we kind of should have moved beyond always wanting to really defend certain aspects of it. If you truly believe that you're just doing you just out here loving who you're loving, why do you feel the need to explain? Even if somebody's hating on it, would you feel the need to explain if someone said just period, I think your mate's unattractive, without putting any race qualifiers on it? Probably not. You'd probably be like, bump them and keep it moving. But this issue is so sensitive. And a lot of times it's because I feel like the opposite still wants the love from the other side, but wants to feel as though, look, I got past you. I got better. And the projecting of it as better is usually where the problem comes into play. Andy?
I'm with you. Just sounds like we need to do a lot of healing, right? Individually and collectively. Because I think we want to date each other, right? But for whatever reason, for whatever trauma, whatever hurt that we give to each other, we can't help but share our truth if we're on a podcast. This is how I grew up and this is what my sisters did to me. You know what I'm saying? I can't rock with y'all. Y'all hurt my feelings. We got to heal.
And I agree with that. Do you also think, I think that we're at a time, again, because of social media, and Leor Emery, I believe, says trauma talk, but things changed. I think that is a lot of it, too. I think that people don't listen anymore. It is, you have to take a hard no side. And if you are doing that, you are against me and I can't rock with you. And I think that mentality, though meant to protect, and I understand it, is hurting us and hurting some of these conversations. I want to ask the chat this, and anyone, Jerry Rodriguez, laughing out loud, this black woman needs to stop gaslighting. Who do you think I'm gaslighting, Jerry? What am I gaslighting about exactly? What's the problem? I said that people could date outside of their race and do what they want as long as they're not raining hellfire down on, if we're talking about black men to women.
Too.
You probably trolling, but keep at it. Look, it's no beef as long as it's respectful. That is the continued line. But I'm not going to act as if on both sides there's been a little bit of dirt thrown, hate thrown, things. Nobody is all the way clean, but I am simply laying out some of the things historically that have happened that might have led us to this point. So you might want to kick back and learn a little bit before you start popping off in the chat, baby boy. But thank you for tuning in. So on that note, listen, again, I don't really have an issue with it unless you throw in shade, unless you're trying to down black women as a whole for why you made the choice, unless you're trying to fault them. Do you know what I'm saying? I do find it interesting when some, like I said, I got to put these qualifiers in because y'all don't listen. Y'all don't keep up. Some, use it as an excuse and just, to triple down on, you might not have been the one at that time. You got to take some accountability for some of these things as well. DJ Black 909 says, quit comparing ourselves to celebrities and trying to mold our lives after them. Comparison is a thief of joy. I agree, but I will say that even back in the day, if you think about movies like Jungle Fever, which came out in like 92, there was a whole conversation with, oh my God, I'm forgetting the woman's name. I love her, the actress that played the wife in it. She talked about how he went out, that Wesley Snipes character went out and got a woman that was, she wasn't light-skinned enough. He went out and got a white woman. These were conversations that happened frequently. So social media is probably intensified it, but let's not act like it's not always there. It hasn't been a theme, a conversation piece, and sometimes, a trophy moment. Jerry Rodriguez said, you said, why are they reacting when they know? Why are they Okay. A lot of Black existence is just a show to many folks, even Blacks, never in the hands of people who actually care. I mean, and Aida says, all these trash songs are destroying Black families, period. I think there's a lot to the mix of it. We got to take some accountability individually as well for our actions, how we speak about each other, what we are showing and representing as well. Listen, Vanetta McGee, that's it. Thank you, Fahima. Vanetta McGee, I love her. That was Sister in Sparkle. She is great. So thank you so much for locking in. Be back here on Monday, 6 p.m. for more trending topics and headlines. You know what it is. Coming up next is Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. Enjoy your weekend. Happy MLK Day. Remember to celebrate and be good to everybody. Have a good night. Thanks for the combo.